Welcome to Lesson 1 of AI Tools for Developers. Before we touch a single tool, we need a mental model, because without it, everything that follows is just memorized commands. Over the next 12 slides, we'll demystify 4 things: tokens, context, prediction, and hallucinations. No magic, just the mechanics that actually matter when you're shipping code. So here's the spine of the whole lesson. First, tokens, the atomic unit the model actually sees, which drives your cost, speed, and limits. Second, the context window. Think of it as the AI's RAM. If your code isn't in it, it simply doesn't exist for the model. Third, prediction. The AI isn't thinking, it's guessing the next token, and that single insight changes how you use it. And fourth, hallucinations. The confident fabrications you'll learn to spot in seconds. 4 concepts, 1 connected model. Let's start with tokens, because everything else hangs off this. When you send the AI a prompt, it doesn't see your characters or your words. A tokenizer chops the text into chunks, roughly 3 to 4 characters each, and those chunks are what the model actually processes. So, refactor this function to be async becomes 7 atomic units. And once you see text that way, 3 things click into place. Cost is per token, speed is tokens per second, and that 4K context limit, 4,000 tokens, not words. One last thing, code tokenizes heavier than English, so a JS file eats about 25% more tokens than the same idea in plain prose. Now those tokens have to live somewhere, and that somewhere is the context window. Think of it as the AI's RAM. Everything inside it is what the model knows right now. The system prompt, your open files, the conversation so far, your current message, and the response it's generating. Everything outside doesn't exist. Other files in your repo, yesterday's chat, your preferences, that doc you forgot to paste, all invisible. And when you hit the token limit, the oldest stuff gets dropped or the request just gets refused. So what actually happens inside that context window? Prediction. Give the model function getUser. Return, and it doesn't think about what you need. It computes probabilities for the next token. Maybe user at 42%, this user at 28%, fetch at 12%. It picks one, appends it, and runs the whole thing again. That's it. Even the fancy reasoning models, just extra prediction passes. And here's the catch. The tone is identical whether it's quoting a fact or inventing one. Confident doesn't mean correct. Which brings us to hallucinations. Look at this snippet. Clean, idiomatic, looks like something you'd ship. But email validation error, made up, email validator.checkmxe doesn't exist. The real validator library only gives you is email. 4 quick defenses. Did the import actually resolve? Does the function appear in the docs? Does it run without errors? And is your language server happy? TypeScript and linters catch most of this at compile time. Use them. There's also a knob you can turn that directly affects how often hallucinations show up. Temperature. It's a number, usually 0 to 2, that controls how the model picks each next token. Low values make it pick the most likely option almost every time. Boring, predictable, exactly what you want for code. Crank it up and it starts reaching for unlikely tokens, which is great for brainstorming and terrible for production. Rule of thumb. Stay under 0.3 for anything you're going to ship. So here's the payoff. Once tokens, context, prediction, and hallucinations click, 6 habits fall out almost for free. Reset the chat when it drifts. Stale context poisons everything. Paste the actual code, don't describe it. Lock temperature low for determinism. Force the model to list its assumptions before writing a line. Show one example instead of writing a paragraph. And the non-negotiable, run the output. Looking right and being right are not the same thing. And if you remember nothing else, take this cheat sheet. 12 facts, 4 columns of your mental model. Tokens are roughly 4 characters. Context windows are RAM. Outside them, nothing exists. The model predicts, it doesn't reason. So confident and correct are not the same thing. Keep temperature low, verify every import, reset long chats, and always show examples instead of describing them. Internalize these, and AI stops being magic. Now, the flip side. 5 mistakes I've watched juniors make over and over. The AI doesn't know your codebase, only what's in the window. Confident output isn't correct output, so verify everything. Never paste secrets. They leave your machine. Break mega prompts into focused ones. And don't expect the same prompt to give the same answer twice unless you pin the temperature. Recognize any of these in yourself, and you've just saved months. Knowing this stuff isn't the same as feeling it, so here are 3 quick exercises, 15 minutes total. Drop a function into the OpenAI tokenizer and watch how symbols and indentation eat tokens. Then ask ChatGPT to use a fake SDK and watch it invent one with total confidence. Finally, paste a long file, ask a few questions, then probe whether it really remembers line 42, or just guesses. Do these, and the 4 pillars stop being slides. They become instinct. And that's lesson 1 in the bag. Tokens as the atomic unit, context as the AI's RAM, prediction instead of reasoning, and verification as a habit. That's your mental model, locked in. Next up, prompt engineering for code. Not chat tricks, but the 5 structures senior engineers actually reach for to ship working code. See you in lesson 2.